Hello, this video is what I think about rainbow gatherings. I went to a rainbow gathering a couple days ago. I couch surfed over at somebody's couch in Helsinki, and she goes, "Yeah, my friend is at rainbow gathering right now over in Kuopio." And I'm like, "Oh wow, okay, I'll check it out." Because it was kind of on my way up north. So I went to Kuopio and I Googled it, and I guess they didn't want to like publish where it was on the internet because they didn't want too many people to go there. But you have to go on like on their forum, and I signed up for the forum, but they didn't send me the password. But I knew it was near Kuopio, so I just Googled Kuopio and then rainbow gathering, and somebody had written somewhere what town it was. So I went there and it was right there. So I got there, I found it. And it was cool. They go in and they had a little welcome area, which was like a mile before the actual place where it was. And there was this Canadian guy there, an older guy, who I think was one of the ancient rainbow guys, and he's like, "Hey, welcome, brother. We're going to have food circle in just 10 minutes, so hang out." So I hung out for 10 minutes, and they had food circle, where they all sit down and but before they do some food circle, they sing a song like, I don't know, some hippie song, "We bless the Mother Earth," or something like that. And then they hold hands like this, and then they change hands and they do the tree thing, and then they do like this, and then like this, and then they like hug the ground. And then you eat, and I hope I'm not giving anything away. Nobody ever told me that there was a credo against talking about rainbow gathering on the internet, because I was told that you're not supposed to bring electronics. So that's why I didn't film any of the rainbow gathering or take any pictures, even though I saw a lot of other people take pictures. But maybe they were part of the group that they were taking pictures of. So, anyways. Because I did ask one rainbow guy, and they were like, "Tomorrow, Angel Walk." And I asked some guy, I'm like, "What's Angel Walk?" He goes, "You stay tomorrow and see." And I'm like, "No, but I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm not going to be at Angel Walk." And he goes, "Well, if you want to know, you stay and you see." So I guess maybe it's against a rainbow credo to like tell what the rainbow stuff is unless you're actually there to witness it. But I don't know. I guess if it's against a rainbow credo, you can tell me to delete the video. But I mean, I like rainbow gathering. Rainbow gathering was cool. I think my general impression of rainbow gathering, and I've been exposed to and met plenty of rainbow gathering people. I think it originally comes from America, late 60s. It's just a bunch of hippies. It's the hippies. And their main thing is to like cherish the earth and live self-sustainably. So you go there and all they use is wood. It's kind of like trying to go back to caveman days. All they use is wood. So they go in the forest and they collect the wood, and then they throw it under these big, metal cauldrons, and then they make the food. And when they wash their clothes, probably a lot of them don't even use soap, and the ones who do use soap are just like, well, you can't do it like in the lake if you have one. I saw the sign and stuff, but just really basic. Trying to live off the land. So no electronics, when you have light, it's just candles and stuff. But and then so trying to be like caveman again. And then they spend their time doing drum circles, and then like people go there. There was a guy there giving Thai massage classes, and an old American guy with a really long beard. And I sat and I watched a couple of the moves I think it was like 4 moves. It was 4 moves that I never learned, actually. They were new moves to me, which was interesting. So maybe one day I'll try them. But that was cool, and you had a bunch of people watching, and then they would practice on each other, and they would only be like 2 or 3 moves a day. So he was going, taking his time with it. And then there was some other guy who was teaching something else, and then there would be people doing like different yoga. And it was funny because there were lots of people like doing yoga by themselves, and then people even meditating. And I did feel a lot of like a very meditative energy there. Oh, it's 4:20. It's 4:20 in the afternoon. We're 4:40 into the thing. Anyways, yeah, I felt a meditative mood when I was there. I was very calm and very grounded and didn't speak. I actually didn't even speak to anybody the whole time. A few people walked up to me and talked to me though. When I first got there, there was a welcome guy who talked to me for a little bit. He was really friendly. And then some other like Finnish guy, this older Finnish guy who's funny, comes up to me and he's like a loner. I saw him walking around by himself and hanging out. But maybe he was like a leader or something, because I saw him stand up on a rock and instruct everybody, we're going to go down at one point. But he comes up to me and he gives me a bunch of food. He's like, you look hungry, here's food. Here's like a brand new like meatloaf thing. And then like a bag of like dates and like cake or something. And so that was nice of him. And he was interested in talking to me. And he talked to me the other day about Finland, and I guess all the lakes in Finland are connected in 3 separate lake areas where you can take boats up and down. And then one point I was sitting there naked in the grass looking at my tent and my map, and some like Danish guy walks up to me who's naked and goes like, hey, what's up? And talking about it and everything. And then about my trip and his trip and all, because he was like motorcycle touring. And he goes to all these different kinds of gatherings. Next one he's going to go to like some drug related gathering. But yeah, he invited me to stay with him over outside of Copenhagen, so maybe I'll do that. But and then I was talking to some guy who was sitting next to me at Food Circle, and he was the guy who was telling me about Angel Walk or whatever, and had some enlightening words for me, because I was like, oh yeah, behind there, I think that's Venus next to the moon. He's like, what? That can't be Venus, because Venus is between Earth and the sun is before us. And I was like, oh yeah, of course. but he was telling me that, oh yeah, he was like that they don't like to let too many people know about rainbow gathering, because then normal tourists will show up there and they'll eat the food, and then they won't have it, and they won't give their money, and then they won't have enough food to eat well after that. And they call them drainbows. So yeah, because what you do is like they have people like pass around food, or they have people give money, and then someone I guess goes out there and buys the raw ingredients, and then they spend all day making the food in these huge cauldrons. When I was there were over 100 people there, like at Food Circle at least, and there were like lots of like tent areas, like in the field, the main field is where I put my tent, and then in the forest next to it was all these tents off as far as you can see, and then in back behind there was all these tents. And the area I was at was really cool. It was about 33 kilometers south of Kuopio, Finland, and there's this big lake down there, and you walk to the edge of it, and there's this big like sweat lodge there. And there's a really cool design for the sweat lodge. They have this hole dug in the ground, and then deep in this hole, they have this big cauldron where they would stick the wood, and then it would constantly cook all this big pile of big rocks. So then you pour the water on, it makes it really hot, and you hang out in there, and then like people can bring like mud or clay that you can put all over your body, and then jump in the river and get it off, and like jump in the lake. And I jumped in the lake and swam like 100 meters out to some like little rock island, and on the rock island there was like a little cooker, some like wood there, so you can cook up some food at the rock island, which was really small, like 6 feet in diameter, and then swim back, and it was cool. And there's all these like people swimming to and fro from there, and then get in the sweat lodge. And there were lots of kids there too. It was like kids area, so a lot of hippies had kids. A lot of people had dreadlocks too, like a good like third, it seemed like, the people had dreadlocks, like big neck of dreadlocks. And at the sweat lodge area, everybody was completely naked, which I thought was really cool. And in the common area, at any given point, there was at least like one guy completely naked walking around, usually a dreadlock guy. And like, no, we were even two. And I decided my second day to be one of the guys who's completely naked, because I knew I could get away with it, because I saw some other guy there. It's cool to be completely naked and walk around. I realized once I was completely naked walking around, and I got used to the idea of being completely naked around all these clothed people and not be like paranoid about it or whatever. I was like, stay completely naked, because once you go completely naked, you never go back. Because, I mean, for me, clothes are cumbersome. There were no mosquitoes there. Actually, when I was leaving, the welcome guy was like saying that even 3 weeks before then, there were mosquitoes everywhere. But then they went through a hot spell and it killed all the mosquitoes, so I guess I was lucky. And when I was there, I was like, are all these meditating people like clearing the energy, vibrating the energy to a point where all the mosquitoes can't be here? Because there were like no mosquitoes. It was a miracle. In northern Finland or halfway up Finland, big lake and swamps everywhere, no mosquitoes. It was awesome. And so I was completely naked walking around. It was awesome to be completely naked, because like, every single square centimeter of your body can soak up all the sun and feel all the breeze, so you get all the sun vitamins and the air vitamins, and you know, and actually do feel like you're a caveman. But I mean, the hippie clothes that they wear is really artistic. You can express yourself a lot of ways in your clothes, and also with the dreadlocks, all the different kinds of hair that they had was really cool. You know, like some girl had the dreads only coming out the front, and I mean, you name it, they had the haircut. It was really, really cool. But and you can express yourself with clothes. But I mean, clothes are cumbersome. They hide your body. Now I think it's cool to show your body. And I mean, I have a nice body now because I've been riding my bike, so you know, I felt like I wanted to do that. But anyways, that was cool. Oh no, I'm out of time. So anyways, that's what I think about Rainbow Gathering.